Previously on Building Batuu. First up, we've got Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, the blue and green milk stand, the First Order Garrison base, Savvy's workshop for all your lightsaber needs, those delightful drink service droids, and finally, Docking Bay 7, complete with transport ship. But what is next? Find out on today's episode. This is Building Batuu. Welcome back, Brick fans. I'm Brickmad Sam. This is Building Batuu, and that was a recap of all of the buildings that we've built so far for Batuu. On today's episode, though, I am very excited. I'm bringing you one of my favorite sections of Galaxy's Edge, which is the Souk market, the marketplace. I can't wait to bring you this one. There is stacks of details in the building, inside and out. If, of course, you enjoyed today's video, Brick fans, please hit the like button. Leave any comments below or any questions you want to ask about the build or anything else for that matter. And, of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm very, very close to the 1K mark, and any subs would be very much appreciated. So let's not delay, let's hit that hyperdrive and jump straight in. Okay, Brick fans, so just very quickly, a little note on layout. I am still trying to configure how this is actually going to lay out perfectly, because I do obviously need to consider the fact of line of sight. I'm trying to think of like where I want to shoot some of these things. So at present, I've got the Souk market down on the lower level, on the same level as these guys. I feel like I may end up having to raise it up slightly, because what I want to do is I want to have it so it sort of steps up so I can still see Docking Bay 7 over there, and I haven't got like a very large building right in front of it. So at present, I think it's going to work with this here. And then also that is Ronto Roasters, which is the size of Ronto Roasters, which is, should sort of sit in nicely in there. So you kind of got the two rotundas next to one another, and then the square building. Okay, so update number one for today's video is here, and this is the little section that I've been working on. So there's another one of these white containers that needs to go next to this, which I'll be working on in just a second. This will be the top section of the, I guess, the exit entrance out on its way to the Resistance base at Galaxy's Edge, which is a fairly iconic kind of entryway into the Souk. And this, I think, is looking pretty cool. It's predominantly dark orange, a little bit of nougat in there. The white containers hopefully will give a nice little accent point. Now, there's some color differences between this version, which is the version from Batuu East, and the more kind of sandy version from Disneyland. So I have decided to go with the East version. It's not the version that I saw in person because I only went to Disneyland, but I think this one will work a little bit nicer just to give some variation to the buildings in the MOC, so I've decided to go with East. Hopefully I can bring all of that stuff to all of the colors together and it works pretty well. So let's continue with making those that container, and then I've also got some little kind of runes. There's like these kind of carved runes in this building in particular. There's sort of 2 rows of them. So I've been working on a couple of versions for that. But this is the main one I've been working on, which is a mixture of jumper plates and tiles. So I'm going to be kind of continuing that along and trying to make that kind of work out so it looks like there's some indented engraving. So it's just about offsetting those, which is why I've got the jumper plates in there, and that will basically slide in underneath the section that you just seen. So yeah, that's what's coming up next, so stay tuned. All right, so this is basically where I got to the other night when I was doing the building. I've built this kind of bottom based area. There's going to actually be a large brown pipe that comes out of the bottom of here. I've added in these kind of sections here and built it right down to this section. This is actually going to be a rock face here. So I looked at some of the references, and there is like this very chunky rock that comes off here and then sort of forms a bit of a spire over this way. So that's something that I'm going to be adding in here, which is why I've built out this black area. So I'm actually going to go and work on getting this part done as well. Yeah, the pipe in here is going to look pretty cool, and there is actually going to be another pipe in here which actually holds the part of this rock face in there. The one thing that I noticed from this, especially when I got it onto the build, is that the market is actually quite a tall, kind of imposing building when you look at it, even from the aerial shots of Galaxy's Edge. So I had another look at some of the references, and what I need to do is actually extend this section up a bit by about that much. So luckily, I was starting to run out of some of the dark orange 1x1 bricks, but I've just got a Bricklink order that I picked up from the post office this morning. So I'm going to go and open that one now, and hopefully it's the bricks that I ordered to at least finish the rest of this wall, extend it up, and get some more of this built. All right, so let's jump over and open up those bricks, and hopefully they're the right ones. This haul was fairly sizable with a lot of different pieces in it, so I'm not going to go through every single piece, but generally within here I did get a lot of kind of tile pieces. I got a lot of the dark orange pieces, either 1x2s. I also got a few different round based plates for my Rishi build as well, so you'll see some of those in there. But look, if you can see here, there are an awful lot of either nougat, medium nougats, or the dark orange. So this is in fact the Bricklink order that I was waiting for. There's a few, obviously there you can see some plants there that I have got in for Batuu and also for some of the other builds that I'll be doing. So yeah, there's a stack of different pieces in here. Again, I won't go through all of them, but yeah, definitely going to have enough to finish off this building now with the pieces that I've got. All right, so here we are, brick fans. The final for today, part of where we're actually at. I've added a whole bunch of stuff into this one. Towards the end, you would have seen in the time lapse, I was working on this rock formation. I know the end of that time lapse did get cut off. It actually just stopped recording. So unfortunately, didn't get to see the end of that one, but I think it's actually turned out fairly well, that little rock face. So this probably will continue up and around and up the side here. I've added in the large pipe here with the smaller pipes going into this sort of large drain area, and of course that detailing at the top. So I think that this aesthetically is looking pretty good. I do have to figure out just exactly where it's going to fit in this build. As I mentioned earlier at the start of the build when we were talking about just positionings and things like that. So I'm going to kind of put a little bit more thought into that. But yeah, for the building itself, the idea is that this would still be able to be picked up and moved around, this one in particular. So we're going to see how that goes. But the idea is I can keep building on this one and then keep working out the layout a little bit as I go. So there you go. Let's bounce into the wrap up. Well, there you go, brick fans. I feel like we've made a lot of progress, even though we've only done that one little section. But in that, I found a lot of the aesthetic choices have all been made now. So the colors, the type of build style that I'm going to do in this building, and of course that little detailed section took forever to figure out and just to make look right. So I'm really happy with that now. And so now, because I've also got that BrickLink order that you all saw, that large haul in the middle of the video, that is going to help me finish that building. So from now on, it should be full tilt, really pressing on to get the building finished and get stuck into all of those tiny little details. There is lots more to come on Batuu. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to leave any comments or questions below about the build or anything else. Of course, I have a live coming up this week and there will be more building Batuu. As well, I've also been doing my Rishi build for Star Wars Faction, so that will be coming up very soon as well, that episode, and a few more of them. But until next time, enjoy your building, till the spire, and may the bricks be with you.